Court is now in session. Today's case involves a massive betrayal and a boss who got exactly what was coming to him. We're talking about a man who stole a $500,000 patent from his own employee, only to realize too late that he didn't have the keys to the kingdom. You're the jury today. I want you to listen to the evidence of this corporate heist and let me know your verdict in the comments. Was my revenge too extreme, or was it a masterpiece of justice? I'll be hearting the most savage responses. Let's dive in. My name is Ethan. I'm 28, and for the last 3 years, I've been a senior developer at a mid-sized tech firm in Austin, Texas. My boss, Gary, is the kind of guy who wears $2,000 suits but can't tell the difference between Java and JavaScript. He's a visionary, which in the tech world means he's good at taking credit for other people's labor. For 18 months, I worked on a side project, a proprietary encryption algorithm that could speed up data processing by 40%. I built it on my own time, on my own hardware. I foolishly showed it to Gary, thinking it would get me that VP promotion he'd been dangling in front of me for a year. Gary looked at the demo, his eyes glazing over with greed. Ethan, this is, okay. It needs work. Let me tweak the presentation and show it to the board. We'll talk about your bonus later. 2 weeks later, I walked into the office and saw Gary on a Zoom call with a major news outlet. He was announcing the launch of the GaryGuard system, my algorithm. He had filed the patent under his own name, claiming he had developed it in his private lab. I stormed into his office. Gary, what the hell is this? That's my code. My patent. Gary didn't even look up from his phone. Ethan, you signed an employment contract. Anything you think of while working here belongs to the company. And since I'm the CEO, I represent the company. Now, I've decided to take the team in a new direction. Your services are no longer required. Security will escort you out. I was stunned. He hadn't just stolen my life's work, he had fired me to prevent me from talking to the board. As the security guard led me out, Gary leaned back and said, "Don't bother with a lawyer, Ethan. I have a team of 10. You have a checking account. Do the math." I went home and sat in the dark for 3 days. Gary was right about one thing, I couldn't outspend him in court. But he forgot one very important thing about how I write code. I don't just write for efficiency, I write for security. The GaryGuard system relied on a specific cloud-based handshake to authenticate its encryption. I had hosted that authentication module on my personal server during the testing phase. Gary's team of junior devs, who were too scared to question him, had simply copied the front-end code and integrated it into the company's main architecture without realizing the core brain was still tethered to my private home server. In 10 days, Gary was scheduled to finalize a $50 million merger with a global tech giant. The merger was entirely dependent on the GaryGuard system being functional and scalable. The morning of the merger, I woke up at 9 a.m. I made a cup of coffee. I opened my laptop and looked at my server logs. I could see the company's pings. They were testing the system one last time before the 11 a.m. signing ceremony in NYC. I could have just shut it down. But I wanted Gary to feel the heat. I wrote a small script. Instead of shutting the system off, I set it to throttled mode. Every time a user tried to encrypt a file, the system would pop up a message. I set the message to appear only on the administrator's dashboard, the one being projected in the boardroom. After 15 minutes, my phone started vibrating. It was Gary. Then a private number. Then an unknown New York area code. I ignored them all. I turned on the news. There were reports of a technical glitch at the merger event. I checked my logs. The kill switch had been triggered. Later, I heard from a former coworker what happened. Gary was standing in front of the investors, boasting about how he personally coded the security layers. He hit the demonstrate button. The screen didn't show a successful encryption. Instead, a massive red box appeared on the 80-inch monitor. It read, "Unauthorized usage detected. Patent holder, Ethan. Licensing fees, overdue. System will self-terminate in T-60 seconds." Gary tried to laugh it off. "Just a joke from the dev team," he yelled, sweating through his $2,000 suit. But then, the system didn't just stop. It wiped the local cache. The investors, who were some of the sharpest minds in tech, immediately realized Gary had no idea how his own product worked. The CEO of the acquiring company stood up and said, "Gary, if you can't fix this in 5 minutes, the deal is dead." Gary called me. This time, I picked up. "Ethan. What did you do? Fix it now. I'll give you the bonus, I'll give you $50,000. The patent is in your name, Gary," I said calmly. "You're the visionary. You fix it. By the way, my licensing fee for that code just went up. It's now $1 million, plus a public apology." The merger collapsed. The investors pulled out, and within 48 hours, the board of directors launched an internal investigation. They found the emails I had sent to Gary months ago with the original timestamps of the code. They didn't just fire Gary, they sued him for misleading the board and gross negligence. I didn't take the $1 million. Instead, I started my own firm. The company that was going to buy Gary's firm. They reached out to me directly. They bought the license for the algorithm from me for $750,000 and gave me a consulting contract. Gary? He's currently in a legal battle that's eating up his entire net worth. Last I heard, he was trying to sell his BMW to pay his defense attorneys. So, jury, did I go too far by crashing the merger, or did the visionary finally get a clear view of reality?